And hello, welcome to the Laughing Tavern. My name's Rich, of course. Wait and see, give people a couple more seconds here to catch up. Please feel free to ask any questions, point out mistakes. Of course, I'm here to play Vantage again. I had some time pop up my schedule. This is a Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, so I figure why not, right? Do another stream. You know, we're live on YouTube and Twitch right now, so hopefully you found us one way or the other. Let us know in the chats where let us know you're here. Ask any questions about anything, not just Vantage, but anything. And point out mistakes, because I'm going to make them. Hopefully tonight, we don't have any audio issues. We don't have any streaming issues. So hopefully I got all that worked out. Let me know in the chat if that's not the case, because I really want to know. I've already got a setup for Vantage, but first things first, I am drinking a beverage from a local place here in Plainville, Connecticut, from Transcend. It's an adult beverage. It may not look like it, right? But it is one of the best things I've ever had. It is a root beer milkshake sour called The Root of All Evil. Check out that artwork. Check that out. It's amazing. It is awesome. It tastes like an old school root beer float made with like IBC root beer. You know, that old school little harsh root beer. Oh, great stuff. That's what it tastes like. And it's a 6% milkshake sour. So we got a little bit of, it's got a little bit of kick compared to other sours. But you're not here for that. So welcome to the tavern. Cheers. All right, we're here to play Vantage. Last time, lost twice. One time, screwed myself because I could have won the game if I just looked at my cards better. Dice rolls were not my friend. Decisions were not my friend. So tonight, playing a different character. So let's switch up the view here so you guys can see. I am playing Emilian the Scholar. I already rolled up. We already escaped the ship. For those that know, Vantage, you are summoned to a planet by a mysterious being called the Traveler. When you arrive, your ship starts to explode. All the crew members scatter to different single escape pods. They land on the planet in different areas. It's a cooperative game that you can pass some information to the other players, and you have a mission. In the solo game, there's no AI. The game is designed to scale per player. So you start with 8 challenge dice, that's these, that you roll to determine results. And then you add 2 per player, and that's it. There's no AI, there's no playing two characters. You're just playing yourself and your mission. My mission this time is to collect a menagerie of animals. I have to have a total of at least 1 loyal animal, which is, I believe, an upgraded animal, plus 1 per player. So I need 2, either in the grids, which is this, or in my reserves, which you have too many cards that can go in the reserves. So that's my goal. So I'm going to try and collect animals. I've played one before on the stream for Tabletop Gaming Center. Check them out. Link in the description. And it was a blast having to collect the sentients. This time, we're just collecting animals. Now, last game I collected 2. I would have already won the game. Well, they weren't upgraded yet. And all you do is you roll dice, determine the outcomes, make decisions on the cards. You can only do certain card actions once. You can only do one of the big card actions, which we'll get to that in a second, once per card, no matter how many times you go back to that card. So if you keep passing through the same card, you can't do anything on that card again. You have mission actions that you can do and player character actions, which you can upgrade, get equipment, that kind of stuff. So with that said, I'm going to roll 2 random dice because this is my escape pod. I don't know how well you can see it here, but you roll and it tells you your starting location. And it's so replayable. Got to shout out to Stonemeyer Games again, as always. Not partners or anything. This game is amazing. I love it. If you love choose your own adventure with some dice rolling, and exploration, this is your game. Check it out, Vantage from Stonemaier Games, links in the description. Upgrade and get yourselves the chunky token pieces. I got chunky metal. The player pads are something you definitely want to have. Keeps your cards organized, especially if you're streaming. You don't want cards blowing around. All right, so let's see where we start. Red and a yellow. Red and yellow is card 400. Now, you're supposed to put the cards back in the box. I keep them out so that I know where I've been already, so I know I can't do certain actions. So let's see, 400. So each card has 6 options I can do. I can do a blue move action, a green look action, or a purple look action, an orange engage action, a green help action, a yellow take action, and a red overpower action. But I can only do one of them once per card total, unless the card specifically says always available, multiple times per turn. You can also move off of the card in different directions. Different directions only cost you, you have to roll 1 challenge dice. The ones with the stars, you go to the book of Vantage, and you go to the books. Speaking of the books, let's take a look really quick. These are the books. Much better to have here because you enter, say, a card number, and it tells you what you're going to do, and it's revealed after you roll. You can use the books, but the books have everything already broken out for you. In a one-player game, I can't look in the books because I already know what the results will be depending upon my dice rolls. So I don't want to do that. So I tend to use this. If you're a two-player game, you can have somebody else read it, right? And then you roll, then you like the result, just like Betrayal, House on a Hill. Any game that you have, you know, different things that can happen depending upon dice rolls. So that website is amazing. Links in the description for that. If you have it, even playing in a multiplayer game, it just makes life easier than passing around the 6 books and flipping around. You just pick it and enter the card number and go. All right, so we're at card 400. Ooh, I see a little weather balloon, possibly. Some kind of either string or a draft. Some kind of symbols up here. Gust of wind steer a distant balloon towards a cliffside tower. To both the north and the south are steep descents in the direction of warmer lowland climates. I can scale, examine, hail, craft, hack, or dig. Well, first things first, I'm going to equip my character. I want to get some extra cards. Extra cards allows me to put these challenge dices on them if I roll the symbol that is on the card. Like you can see this one, if I do any kind of orange action, it does not matter what the result is, I can put it in that square. If I roll a star, it can go in that square. So all the cards have something like that. And some of them will get you boosts, which are these great cues, which allow you to do more things. It'll allow you to regain health, which are these 4. Let's talk about that. We have time, health, and morale. These will go up and down based upon the rolls and results. So we want to make sure that we keep that. We have options for those. So that's how you'll lose when you get down to 0. You have to read the mission's take option. And you can re-roll all your dice, or it gives you different options if you want it. If you feel like you lost it cleanly, you want to keep playing, you don't have to do the mission. You can just keep going. So I want to do a master, or equip, sorry. So I want to do an equip. These tokens off to the side, the skills, I can cash one of these in to lessen one of the dice rolls. So if I have to roll 3 greens, I can roll 2 if I toss in one of my greens. So let's go to the book. So we're going to do green. Helps if I click in the web, not on my thing. So green. We're going 1437, which is the number of my player card. So I have to roll 4 green dice to equip my notebook. And I can only do it once a game. So I'm going to toss in one of my green, my only green, to make this a 3 dice roll, because that is just not, 4 is a lot of dice. So I'm going to roll 3 dice. So I roll 3 of these dice. Oh, Depending upon the result, the arrows go back to the dice pool. The dashes go up to the challenge dice penalty. They don't count. And any other symbol that I can't place on a card, that symbol goes down one, and then that dice goes in the challenge dice penalty box up there. If I cannot roll because all the dice have been used, they all come back, and that's how you refresh the dice, and that's how you can cash in some dice off your cards to get extra boosts or anything like that. Like I said, if you're here, thank you for joining. Please toss something in the comment, ask questions about anything. This game, myself, this tasty beverage that I've got going on here. All right, without further ado, let's roll 3 dice and see how bad this game starts. All right, a dash does nothing, but it was a green action, so I can't do anything with these 2, time or health. So time and health go down 1. Starting off really good. Gotta say, this game is frustrating sometimes, but they have mechanics that the game can continue no matter how fast you get down to 0. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, no matter if you used all the dice or not, you then go back to the book. As long as you rolled, it counts. So now we can see what the notebook is. The notebook has always helped you process your thoughts in writing. Gain item 1301. All right, so let me get 1301 out of here. All right, let's see. 1301. The notebook, as you can see, it's got multiple slots. It's got a purple slot and a blue slot on there. I can sell it for 2. That's what this little symbol means here. If I get 2 charges on it, I can expand the boost to gain an orange or my first personal objective, which again gives me other things to shoot for. You can get objectives and destinies, which are like side quests. And it just allows you to, again, do more things. All right, so now that I've got my notebook, let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do on this card. Like I said, I can scale the cliffs, I can examine, I can hail, craft, hack, or dig. I'm out to make friends on this mission, right? Collect some animals. So, and I've got plenty of orange tokens and plenty of orange spots to use on my cards over here. I have 2, 1 in each, that are blank. That means they can be used for anything. So let's go ahead and hail. So back to the book we go. Like I said, any audio issues, etc., let me know in the chat. So we're going orange. We are on card 400. For hail a ride from the balloon. Well, I've got 2 spots open. I've got some wiggle room right now. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to roll all 4 dice. It's probably stupid. You know what? Let me cash in one of my oranges and roll 3 dice instead. Because I can use 2 over there, and then I'm only going to lose 1 of my stats if that happens. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, we got this, and this goes back here. I got a star. So I'm going to put that star here. Something else is note, and the player character, you can cash in 2 boosts for a 1 money or a blue skill token, or you can spend 1 to re-roll 1 challenge dice. So that comes in handy if you're getting near the end and you need to change the outcome. All right, so let's go back to the book. Let's see. Hail a ride from the balloon. Oh, for some reason, let me fix this really quick. It stopped capturing. Hang on, it stopped capturing this window. That is weird. All right, there we go. Now it's capturing it again. That was weird. All right, I didn't know you guys cannot see that. All right, let's see here. You yell, you dance, you even yodel to the best of your ability, and when it's almost too late, the balloon veers off course and swings by to pick me up. The driver points in a few directions to ask your direction, your destination of choice. Gain 1 morale, which is great. One of my morale was my heart. That dropped down to 3. And you may go northwest to a lantern-lit swamp on 234, northeast to the elemental monster on 616, southeast to a metal sentient on 606, or southwest to a treasure chest on 199. I want to collect animals, but I don't know if I want to deal with sentients, but sentients help. But treasure chests are good too because you can get extra items, and cards are always good, just like sentients. I don't want to go to the elemental monster. I don't want to fight anything yet. It is way too early to be causing a fight, to be bringing the ruckus onto this planet. All right, so southeast to a metal sentient, northwest to a lantern, swamp, or the treasure chest. Let's go southwest to the treasure chest. Let's be smart about this, and let's go to 199. All right, so I open up, I get to card 199. There are 1,800 cards in this box. Thankfully, it is well organized. All right, 199. A safe distance from the massive twister to the south, a metallic sentient hovers over a treasure chest. Oh, this guy tricked me. There's a metal sentient and a treasure chest. So I can sneak, learn, pick, assist, steal, or force. Let's see. I can assist. I have a spot for a star if I roll one. What do you guys think? Any thoughts? Anybody in chat want to give me an idea? Any thoughts? No? All right, so let's assist. Let's try to make friends, right? We're here to make friends, so let's make friends. So back to the book. We're going to green 199. Roll 1 dice to assist the sentient. So could still end up hurting me, but let's roll 1. It's a neutral, so it doesn't do anything to me. So back to the book. We assisted the sentient. Let's see what happens. That is weird that you guys cannot. What is going on? I keep losing my window. Huh. Let me see something. No, that. All right, that wasn't it. All right. Huh, weird. So I'm not having any kind of audio issues, but I'm having a weird OBS issue, it seems like. The sentient insists they don't need your help, encourage you simply to go and to enjoy the view of Moonstone Mountain to the north, but they seem to appreciate you handing them tools during the process of picking a lock. Some treasure chests are traps, and they want to give this one their full attention. When the chest opens to reveal a large mace, they offer you the choice of becoming their apprentice, gaining sentient 1338, or gaining the weapon 1036. Interesting. Well, sentients aren't animals, but sentients can have other benefits. I'm not really a fighter guy. I'm a scholar, right? So I'm thinking having a friendly sentient would be the way to go. All right, so let's gain sentient 1338. I'm probably going to regret not having the mace. So, Brass the Lockpicker. When placed, he gets 2 boosts, which is good because when he doesn't have any more boosts, you lose this card, so you got to keep him there. So he gives me a take action, which I have to spend a boost to use. Any pick actions, though, I get a special thing. In any metal areas, I can put something down as long as it's metal. I can also learn flirt, swindle, or duel him. Dueling's fun. I'm going to try to avoid it in a one-player game. All right, well, I'm just going to place this up here. If you've never played before, card placement does matter because there are certain cards that gain boosts or can move boosts around to cards in those columns or rows. So it does matter. I can spend 2 boosts to take a boost from another card in my grid and then gain the result of a challenge die placed on that card. I can gain time. Oh, so I can gain back stuff. Interesting. That is definitely a cool feature to have. I said if you pop in and watching, I appreciate you. All right. So now we need to move, where we can do a card action. I don't think I need to do any animal actions right now, mission actions. I think I'm going to save those so I'll have a little bit more leeway here. You know what? Let's do a learn action on this metal sentient and see what happens. All right, let's go back to the book. All right, so I'm doing purple on 1338. Ooh, see, I got to roll 5 purple. I have a couple different things I can do. I have to look up a quick rule, or I can Google it. What does the lightning... On the cards, there are lightning symbols. Impact dice slots may be used by any player with my permission, even if they are at a different location. They represent expertise and personality. If another player places a... Okay, so I can use those at any time. That's what I wanted to see. All right, so I'm gonna... Oh. If I roll 5 dice, so I reset my dice, but I've got nothing over there. So I'm gonna spend my purple, and I'm gonna roll 4 dice. And why did the window locked up again? Why is it doing that? Why is that? I've never had this issue before. I think I may have too many windows open. Very weird. All right, so let's go back purple, 1338. Weird. Oh, wrong window. All right, so let's roll 4 dice. I spent my 1 purple token. Oof, 1 neutral, 1 star. Oh, I do have a purple time here. And I am going to use my ability to re-roll one of my challenge die. I don't want to lose time. Neutral. Perfect. Awesome. All right, so back to the book. Let's learn from the sentient's expertise. Sentient patiently teaches you how to pick locks on treasure chests. Gain ability 1471. All right, that might come in handy. Ooh, it's another pick action. All right. Pick. If I roll 4 orange, I can gain the result of another pick, enter an access action. If I'm doing pick actions, this just allows me to fill up the cards a lot. So if I'm doing a lot of picking, I can spend 2 boosts to get an orange and then spend 4 oranges to gain the result of another pick, enter, or access action, then gain a star. So interesting. Probably not going to use that too much, but it's better than have it and not need it, right? All right. So we need to move. So let's move. Let's just, oh, all the dice are going to reset here in a second because I'm out of dice. All right, so let's just go to 198. Let's keep moving west. It cost me 1 dice, so all my dice reset. I don't get anything for that one. I don't get anything for that one, but I get a boost on my notebook when I catch that one in. All right, 198. An energized orb teeters precariously between 2 hills. Something or someone seems to be moving around inside. Oh, maybe I can find my first animal. I can push, inspect, interact, aid, access, or shatter. I probably don't want to shatter it. I probably want to aid. Don't have a lot of green. Don't have any green. Well, let's aid and see what happens. All right. So let's go green. 198. Aid is sentient in need based on a plea illuminated on the orb's surface. Cost me 3 dice. Well, I gotta hope for the best here because I do not have any spot really to put much stuff because I'm aiding. It's not metal, nope. All right, so 2 neutrals and a star. Which star I can put right here. So that worked out well for me. All right, let's see what this sentient is. The outside of the orb includes requests for help from sentients in the area, each promising a generous reward. One such request is to overthrow a tyrant. The instructions say to meet up with a few energy sentients to the northeast of here. Gain 1 morale and 1 boost. All right, so my morale goes up, and I have a boost that I can place anywhere. Let's place it on the notebook. Right, and now you can cash in your boosts at any time. So I'm going to cash in my boost right now in my notebook to gain my first personal objective, card 1611. Let's see what this is. All right. Consult with the Traveler. If you consult with the Traveler, read 1611 in the Book of Secrets. Oh, so the Traveler does appear on cards. He'll be a little red person, being, on the card. So I'll have to pay attention for those cards that say consult. All right, so that didn't help me much. Hang on a second. Let me go back to that one. That was aid 198. I need to read what it. Northeast. Energy sentience. Gain 1 morale, 1 boost. All right. Well, let's go north then. On this card. So let's go back to the book. We're gonna move. And it's doing it again. I do not understand why it's doing that. I gotta keep switching the window it's connected to. So we're doing move, 198. And this should pop up and say north. Costs us 3 blue, which I do have 1 spot for blue. To hike north over the ridge. All right, let's roll 3 dice and let's see what happens. I got a neutral and 2 stars. My blue heart. So that doesn't help me any. It's not metal. I'm not doing a pick action. Well, my morale goes down too. My health goes down too. Not good. I kind of tripped, I guess, walking up the... You marvel at the orb's narrow perch, taking care not to veer or go far too off. Go to 228. All right, 228 it is. $228. All right, 228. It's purple energy. Energy crackles as a sentient bursts out of a nearby tower while another sentient faces you from the edge of a cliff. I can scale, scan, ask, teach, enlist, or duel. I'm not going to scan. You know what? I've got plenty of orange spots. Let's just ask, right? Let's just ask. So, let's do orange 228. 1, to ask the sentient about the tower and the surrounding area. Not a problem. I've got plenty of orange spots on my cards. So let's roll. It's time. I do not have a specific time, but I will put it here. All right, so let's ask the sentient. The sentient is part of a group of messengers who use the towers to travel to faraway lands. They gesture to the homeland, the swamps at the base of the cliff, saying there are other towers to the west and a place called the Eternal City to the north. Gain 2 boost. All right. I'm going to put those here and here. I'm going to put one up on my sentient in case I need to use it. Keep him full. You may continue with engage 6 transmit action. The result is found in entry 228 in the Book of Secrets. So I can most of the time you will occasionally come across something that says you may continue at this location, which means you can do something else. You can have another turn basically. I may continue with an engage 6 transmit action. That will reset my dice. That will give me plenty of orange spots. Let's do it. Let's give it a shot, right? Probably a bad decision. Let's return that one. This one gets me a boost. Put it there. All right, 6. I'm going to reduce that by 1 and make it 5. I know I have plenty of spots open here, but let's see what happens. All right, I got 2 neutrals, a star, and 2 spots for time. Perfect. Awesome, that was a time. All right. So, book 228 in the book, page 228 in the Book of Secrets. The Book of Secrets is a special book. Entry 228 in the Book of Secrets. A signal to your homeworld. The early days of basic training finally prove useful as you apply the fundamentals of radio signals to the tower. You tap into the tower system to send a quick burst that your homeworld should recognize if anyone is listening. That's what I needed to do as part of my other game last Sunday. Your rescuers will need to triangulate the signal to find you, but this is a good start. Gain Destiny 1598 if you do not already have it. Either way, add 1 signal token to that destiny. Okay, what was that destiny? Because that's the way to get off the planet and end the game as well. Destiny 1598. Let's see what 1598 is. 1598 Destiny. Triangulate a rescue signal. Transmit signals from 3 different towers. Keep track with tokens here. Oh, okay, so I gain 1. If you do, you may complete the destiny by reading 1598 in the Book of Secrets. All right, so I have a destiny. So I have something else I can work towards. I can research on that to further that, but it's not really my mission today. If I come across stuff, I will. So that's what's awesome about this game right there. Instead of just having one mission, find animals, I also have a personal objective now to consult with the traveler. I have a different goal, a different destiny to try to reach my home world and triangulate the signal. So, and you can gain more destinies and more objectives as the game goes on. So this isn't just do this and win the game. It's enjoy the game. Do different things. All right. So, let's see. The swamps are at the base of the cliff, saying there are other towers to the west and a place called the Eternal City to the north. Well, we can do the signals, right? If we go west, and maybe we'll meet some animals along the way. If we go to a city, it might be hard to get the animals, right? So let's stick with what the two things we got going. All right, so let's go to the towers to the west. So that is, so on my card, it just says 227. It cost me 1, which was a neutral, to go to 227. So let me dig out 227. All right. You see the tower, a blanket levitates at the edge of a cliff. Okay, I can steer it. I can examine, trade, release, hijack, or cut. I don't really have anything to trade, I don't think. So, time for Rich's famous bad decisions. Let's hop on this bad boy and ride it. Or no, you know what? Let's examine it. I have a purple here. I can stare it. Stare or examine. Stare or examine. What am I feeling lucky with? Let's be safe. I'm a scholar. Let's examine it. All right, so back to the book. And of course, my OBS is acting funny today because everything else was right. I just don't understand. So G 227 2 to examine. All right, so let's roll. Let's roll 2 dice and see what happens. We got a time and a heart. I got a purple time. That works. I have no place to put a heart, but my health is good. Oops. I messed up somewhere along the way. Those were supposed to be reversed. Yes, I moved the wrong one when I went up one. So, hang on a second. These should be like this. And now that one would be there. Now that one would be there. Okay. I think I fixed it. I don't know why I keep getting morale and health changed. That dice goes there. Let's examine the blanket. Man, it's like anytime I switch off of this window. It's weird. It's never done this before. I had no problems locking this window in. Very weird. It's a little different from what you picture from the books you read as Imaginative Child, but there's no mistaking a flying carpet. The device is touch sensitive and it counterbalances against your weight. Looking around, you can't see its owner. Gain ability 1490. Okay, let's gain ability 1490. Hijack. So I gain the ability to hijack this thing. If I spend 4 yellows, I can hijack a boat, a hail ride, a room caster, or a city building on my location. Read entry 1490 in the Take storybook. All right. If you pay 1 boost, which I can do. Also gain vehicle 985. If not, continue. So I have to do something else at this location. But let me gain vehicle 985. I just gained a flying carpet. Somewhere Laura Bailey is eating her heart out. I just know it. That was a Critical Role reference. If you're watching me, chances are you understood it. It's from Campaign 1. Speaking of Critical Role, if you're at Critical Role Live in Atlanta on Tuesday, May 26th, look for the big guy in the Laughing Tavern t-shirt. I'll have some small merch with me and stuff like that, so find me. Flying carpet. I can upgrade with a green. I can spend 3 blue to ride. Pair your current region with its sky location and then move there. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. But I got a flying carpet. I can spend 3 boosts to regain a morale. That is huge. Wow. Okay. And I gain, so move actions are the way to be for me, because I have spots there. And they can gain me boosts, which will help that. All right. Interesting. So I have to continue. All right, so let's steer. I got the blue action. I got a blue action. I've got a couple. So let's steer this bad boy. So let's move back to the book. Move 227. 5 to steer the vehicle into the air, which is fine because it will reset my dice, which is great. So I get my spots back. I get nothing for that one. I get a boost back for that. Nothing. And I get a boost on that one. And then these come back. All right, let's roll 5 dice because I don't have any skill tokens right now. These 2, oh wow, these 3 go back. That one goes over there, and I got a star, which, that was a star, so I'm going to put that down here. And let's go back to see what steering a magic carpet is like. It's going to be hard to meet friends up here, though. Animals. You ease yourself onto the carpet, which adjusts itself automatically for your volume and waits a command. Gain vehicle on 985. Oh, I already did that. Okay. Oh, because I was not supposed to do that. Because I did examine on the card. Oops, so let me reset these. I had four left. That one doesn't go there. That one does not go there. That was full. That had something in it. That had something in it. And that had something in it. So I'll just leave those like that for now. I realized I was supposed to move to a different location, not do another card location. Violated the rules. So let's do a move. I should have 4 dice left there. Okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and upgrade our magic carpet while we got it. It's a green. Doesn't say how many. Let's see. Green 985. Let's see if we can upgrade this bad boy. Don't know why it's doing that. All right. 6 dice. All right. So now I do the upgrades. All right. So now it's going to cost me 6 to roll. So now I refresh these dice. So I'm back to where I was, just starting from a different spot. Okay. All good. All set. All right. So 6 dice. All right. I don't have any greens, so this could be bad. All right. Well, that one goes there and that goes there. I have a star I can use for anything. and nothing for these. So I lose 2 and 1. I don't want to re-roll. Actually, it's not going to help me much unless I cancel them out. So let's save those. We're upgrading this. Replace this. Oh, all right, back to the book. Replace this with a levitating cube. All right, so I no longer have a flying carpet. I have levitating cube 1010. All right, so Laura Bailey's jealousy only went so far, but now I have a levitating cube. Going to see Critical Role live on Tuesday is a bucket list item for me. I've been a major fan of theirs since I had some life changes in 2018, and my friend introduced me to Victor in our Lost Minds of Fendhelver campaign. He brought Victor and I asked where he got them from, and he showed me a clip of Critical Role, and that's all she wrote, folks. Levitating Cube. 3 blues to ride. Pair your current region. This vehicle cannot move to adjacent sky locations. Okay. I can upgrade this one again. But let's go ahead and let's do a move action. Let's move north. Let's move north. So let's go back to the book. We are going to move. That was 227. We're going to move north to descend 7 to descend down the steep cliff. Wow! But I've got 3 blue spots. It will reset my dice. So let's do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, 7 to descend the steep cliff. This could be it. I'm going to crash and burn on a cliff. 2 neutrals. All right, 3 stars, a heart. All right, so I got a heart blue right here. I got a heart star right here. I got an empty heart star here. Actually, let me do the heart down there so I get a cube for it, which can get me a green. The star I'll lose, but the time will take me back, will get me to 0. Now here's the thing. I could try to re-roll, get a different result. If I get a heart, I'll stay alive for a little bit. So let me re-roll. I'm going to re-roll that one. Looking for a heart, a neutral, or a go back. It was a neutral. Woo! Okay. So we are descending down the steep cliff. We may not die at the bottom of it. Climbing down the sheer cliff leaves your muscles aching, and at the bottom your feet sink slightly into the boggy mud of the swamp. Oh, I have to ride the cube. I'm bringing it with me, I guess. I gain a morale. Okay. Gain ability 1491. Descend. I'm just racking up abilities. Descend. Gain the result of another descender dive action plus a purple as you enjoy the view on the way down. Okay. I can also put those abilities in a reserve and not use them. So that may be something I decide to do if I start getting better cards. Oh, where did it say we go? We go to 232. All right. Well, here's the swamp they talked about at the beginning. A bright light emerges from the swamp, slowly swirling and gathering momentum. With a towering cliff behind you, you have nowhere to run. I can hide, observe, coax, assist, steal, or trap. I have plenty of orange spots. I have 2 orange spots. I do have a purple time spot, which would be great, but I have a better shot with orange. Let's do orange. So let's coax. Let's see what happens if I coax. It's weird. I'm still new to all this OBS stuff and all that, and it's causing me issues. So orange 232. 4 to coax the light encouragingly. All right, well, I have 2 spots. Oh, and that will recharge my dice. All right, so I don't get anything for that, but for these 2, I get 2 boosts. And 2 gets me a green, so I'm going to change those in for a green, just to have a green. I need to get my skill tokens back. All right, let's roll 4 dice here. Oh, all the dice reset. Let's roll 4 dice. Oh, 4 neutrals. Woo! Good rolls. Good rolls. 4 neutrals. All right. Following your instincts, you speak to the light as if it understands you. When the light forms eyes, it's almost like you're looking into your own soul. Gain 2 morale. All right, well, my morale is through the roof. I'm happy. I got a cube. I got a bunch of abilities. I got a sentience. And I gain, and if you go above, you gain a random skill. So if my morale keeps to increase, that'll be good. I can gain random skills, which I definitely need. But now the question becomes, what do I do? So now I can either continue moving. Is there something else on my thing? I don't want to do any card actions yet because I don't want to run the risk of hitting 0. All right, so let's move to, let's head east to 233. So it costs me 1 dice to roll, and it goes back. And I go to 233. A luminous sentient beckons you into the marsh. They invite you to apply for the trial of translation. I can dance, translate, persuade, enliven, capture, or flex. I've got a bunch of blue, so let's bust a move. Let's just bust the move here. So we're gonna dance on 233. 5 to dance for the judges. I have a couple slots open and nothing to cover it with, so let's roll some dice. Man, I'm going to lose the game dancing for the judges. All right, I got 2 neutrals. I have a blue heart, which goes down here. Oh, man. All right. Well, these 2 will cause these to go down. Because I have no place to put them. I could re-roll and hope for a, you know what? I need a heart and a star is what I have spots for. Let's spend my 2. Let's stay away from the re-roll and all to continue on as long as I can. This is as long as I've made it. So, oh, I still ended up with time hitting 0. Okay, so when that fails, you read the take of the mission. So we're going to go. We're going to go take. of the missions 1584. It has different endgame conditions. If I complete a destiny, if I complete the mission, if you feel that you had a fair shot at this incomplete mission, it's time to move on, or if you feel that your untimely demise happened far too soon, whether or not you completed the mission, you may rally to take one final chance. You all know me, I'm going to keep going, and what this means is I refresh all dice, and then I re-roll. Then I roll all the dice and gain everything. As long as I don't remain at 0, the game continues. In a cooperative game, multiplayer game, you would distribute the dice as appropriate. But for me, it means I get it all. And if my morale goes up, I'll roll a bunch of challenge skill dice. All right. So first things first. All the neutrals don't count. Check that out. My time did increase, but only by 1. So I'm still in the game, but I get 5 skill tokens. 5 random skills because I rolled 5 stars. All right, so I get 3 blues. All this comes in handy now. A purple. Let's see, 3 blues and a red. All right. So let's go back to the book and back to where we were, which was dancing for the judges. The game continues on. All right, so back to the book. Dancing on 233. Oh, I already rolled, so I don't have to do that again. Your spirited performance delights the judges, and they welcome you to participate in the trial. Continue with the look translate action. All right, so now I have to do the look translate action, which is the purple on 233. 3, 2, translate a cipher for the judges. Only if you have been welcomed as a participant, which I have been. Otherwise, choose another action. Well, I do have 1 purple slot and 1 thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my purple token, and I'm going to only roll 2 dice. My heart and my health and my time are still at 1. So I need to roll 2 dice, and I can keep on rallying, provided I don't stay on 0. So 1 goes back, and I get a purple star. Can I use it? Yes, I can use a star on anything right there. Because I don't have my purple as time. Oh, so that would have been perfect. I didn't have to spend my token, but better safe than sorry. All right, let's see what this translate is. Well, I am a scholar, so this is perfect. Oh, man. All right. Find cards 1147 to 1149. 1147 to 1149. 47, 48, and 49. Place them on the table. Okay. An energy sentient points to the lanterns surrounding you on this location, 1147 and 1148, each of which is etched with images of sparks, fire, rocks, mountains, blood, and water in various quantities. The sentient also hands you a scroll with 4 runes written on it, card 1149, okay? Your goal is to translate the scroll, which describes a universal mantra involving 2 numbers and 2 words. Oh man, I am never going to solve this. I hate puzzles. I hate these things. Okay. I hate ciphers. And there's nobody here, nobody in chat to help me out. Lovely. Okay. So I may be stuck here for a minute. So let me show you the cards. I see these cards. So here's cards 1147. Right? They got little symbols on it. 48's the same, and then 1149 has these 4 symbols. A universal mantra. Your goal is to translate the scroll, which describes a universal mantra involving 2 numbers and 2 words. It doesn't give me anything else. Sparks, fire, rocks, mountain, blood, and water. So that must be water. Water and blood. Blood is thicker than water. Okay. Fire on the mountain. Sparks. Okay, that's fire and blood. Sparks and rocks. I don't know the answer to this. A universal mantra involving 2 numbers and 2 words. Blood is thicker than water. Okay, so that's the symbol for blood. Okay. All right, so that's the symbol for blood. That's the symbol for water. Rocks. That's the symbol for rocks. That's the symbol for sparks. Or no, it's the symbol for fire. Rock and fire. Water. Water, sparks, rock, and fire. Water, sparks. Water, sparks, rocks, and fire. I have no idea. I'm just going to say I have no clue, but I'm going to continue on because I don't want to stop here at this because I'll be here all night. 233. I do think it's something to do with Water, rock, sparks, and fire. Succeed if your translation is 12 sparks, 1 fire. I was never going to get that. If you succeed, gain item 1243. An emblem representative of the energy sentence acceptance of you and your people. If you fail, gain 2 random skills. I failed. Well, I get an orange and a red. I know I gave in a little quick, but there's no way I'm not going to sit here and try to do a puzzle. That was my favorite with this game, is some of the puzzles. Succeed or fail, lose the puzzle cards. Okay. Your location is still 233. All right. So, I mean, that's not too bad. Welcome to everybody who's joined. Let me know in the chat. We have got down to 0 once already. If you've watched this game, you played this game before, you know that happens a lot. I am drinking a tasty beverage from Transcend called The Root of All Evil. It's a root beer float milkshake sour. It is amazing. I just failed at a puzzle, but I did gain 2 random skills, which I desperately need anyways, and I'm still at 233. So I can't do anything else. So I was at 234, right? Yes, I was at 232. So let's move to 234. 234 only cost me 1 movement dice, which is a star, which is fine because I have one of those down here. All right, so 234. Welcome all. Hi, Ottawa Joshua. That sounds amazing. Root beer float, Transcend, Root of All Evil. Tastes like a root beer float made with like IBC root beer, you know, the good strong root beer, but it's a 6% milkshake sour. It is amazing. Your back is pressed against a sheer cliff wall as several glowing sentients emerge from the swamp. All right. I can approach, learn, greet, offer, consume, or pluck. Let's not pluck them. I'm still trying to make, for those who are just joining this, I have a couple goals. My mission is to collect a menagerie of animals. I need at least 2 loyal animals, which is an upgraded animals. I need to consult with the traveler as a personal goal. And I can triangulate a rescue signal as a side quest. And I've got a lot of abilities. I've got a brass sentient with me right now. In my notebook, I got a levitating cube. I upgraded a flying carpet. So everybody's catch up after the hour. So, all right. So let's just greet these guys. I got a couple orange spots. So let's greet these guys. So back to the book. And we are going to be greeting. And of course, my OBS windows are not working with me tonight. Orange 234. One roll to greet the sentients. I will do that, and easily I will not spend a token to do it, and it's in neutral. All right, so let's greet the sentients. The sentients looking at each other before responding. Their trust for outsiders apparently quite low. After introductions are made, you move to step toward them, and they insist that you stop. The springblade lilies in the swamp have a taste for landwalkers like you. We advise that you walk around them, not over them. Gain 1 boost. All right. So I'm going to put that boost on my cube. So now let's move. So if I look back at my card, so let's continue moving north. Why not? So let's go back to, let's do a move action here. Let's do move 234. North 3, 2-way north through the swamp. Not what I wanted to do. They said not to, but let's do it anyways. All right. Oof. There's there, and I do have a blue heart. Let's put it up here. All right, let's see what happens when I wade through them. Unless you've been warned to avoid the lily, I have been warned. Lose 1 health as the plant smashes against you. Whew, I was warned to avoid the lily, so thankfully, because my health is at 1, which would not have been good. I would have been back down to 0. So we are going on to card 239 is what it said. All right, so 239. Sorry, it takes a second here to get to where I need to be. Lights glow from inside a wooden building hanging above the marsh. It's Baba Yaga, a Vantage style. I can climb, spy, ask, praise, access, or raid. I'm in keeping nice in this game so far. So let's praise, right? Well, I don't have any green. Still have plenty of orange though. Let's keep with the orange and let's ask. All right, so let's ask. All right, so let's ask on 239. 1, ask the sentient for help at the treehouse. All right, let's just roll 1. There was a star, which I can put here. All right. The sentient signals the shopkeeper, who explains that they typically sell lanterns to energy sentients. That's where they sleep. But the lanterns also function as lighting instruments, and they offer to sell you a special version. You may pay $6 to gain item 953 or decline. I don't have any money, so I'm going to gain 1 boost. Going to put it here. I'm going to cash 2. I'm going to cash. So I put it on my notebook. I'm going to cash those 2 boosts in to gain another orange. So I have some orange skill tokens. Either way, gain one boost. All right, well, I am done with the hut. So let's move. Let's continue moving north. Why not? All right, back to the book. Let's move. 239 north. 4 to trailblaze through the forest. All right, well, 4 is what I got. And I have 3 blue to spend. I can also refresh my dice if I end up hitting 0. Oh, you're new here? Just taking it all in. Tree so far. Thank you, Idaho Joshua. Ask any questions you want. Vantage is a great game. I will tell you anything you want to know. Just ask in the chat, and I'll get to you in between moves. Basically, Idaho Joshua, it is a choose your own adventure style book, game like what I had growing up as a kid in the 80s with dice rolls and exploration. That's basically the easiest way to look at it. You have missions and you have goals and you can meet things along the way, and you can only do certain things limited times. So you have to pick and choose what you do right. You can only do 1 card action. That's why I can't do anything else here, because I asked, so I have to move off. There's other card actions I can do, but I don't want to risk those quite yet. All right, so let's move. Let's roll 4. Let's get down to 0. Let's see what happens. All right, 1 there, and 2 stars. Okay, stars are fine. I can lose stars. I can lose morale because I had plenty of it. So I'm still alive. Well, and you can also, the game, Idaho Joshua, it has a built-in mechanic to where if you get down to 0 for one of your stats, right, you can choose to end the game if it was fair, or you can rally. You can roll all the dice, and as long as you don't have a stat at 0, the game continues. So I've already done that once. which is a record for me because I've been playing for an hour and 15 minutes, give or take. Normally, I've done it twice by now and already started my second game because I died. All right, so back to the book. We are trailblazing north through the forest. The structure above you looks like the best treehouse a child could want. Go to 244. All right, so now I go to card 244. We're probably only going to do one game tonight. It is I do have to work in the morning. All right. A nearby sentient is busy inside a fortified glass orb. Hide, inspect, interact, assist, access, or shatter. I don't know if I want to. I don't want to shatter. You know what? I'm going to hold off on doing that. I'm going to master my character first. What that means is just like I equip myself with the notebook, now I can master, I can basically level up my character. So what I'm going to do is, let's do that first, because that will allow me to refresh my dice, give me more spots back. So let's do purple 1437. 5 to master survival skills. All right, well, I can't do that. So I get a cube down here. I'm refreshing, and I knocked my setup a little bit. So I get a cube down here. I can cash in 2 to get a green. I'm going to do that. I want to build up these skill tokens. That one just goes back. These go back. Making a mess. I get 1 token here. All right. Cool. All right, now I get to roll 5 dice. 5 purple. I don't have any tokens. And I only have one time spot. So maybe rally in here in a second. All right, so let's see what this does. All right, 2 neutrals. I got a heart for a purple. Oh, time for a purple, which I'll put there. Fortunately, that takes me down here. So, as before, I'm going to refresh the dice and re-roll. What I need to do is get my heart and my time, my health and my time off of 0. Oh no, this does not look good. Does not look good. It's not look good at all. I got 2 go here, 2 heart, and I got my heart up, but I did not get my time up. Game is over. So let's go to the book. We're going to read the take action for the mission, which is 1584. It's time to move on. End the game taking knowledge you've gained to use on future attempts. Well, geez, thanks. But that is the game. So it's a blast. You know, each game, it really depends how long it takes and decisions that you make and what cards you come up with. I got a lot of abilities, but they are very specific, so I couldn't use those for using for dice. You know, if I have 7 cards, I should have a lot of dice I can put on the cards. But these are only very specific actions, right? So I just simply could not do that. Other things I learned from this game, from this one, not much this time. I think I'm building up my knowledge from the previous playthroughs. So right now this would be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, my 7th time playing. And each game is so unique, so different, because you never know where you're going to end up, where you're going to come across. I believe I've come across this card before in the playthrough for the game store. The game kind of trolled right there. At least they have a mechanic where you can keep the game going, right? It's not you're 10 minutes in and the game ends. It's a Vantage is a newer game, came out last year. It used to be pretty hard to find. I found it in my local game store. You can go to Stonemeyer Games or probably Amazon. Stonemeyer Games, link in the description. I believe you could buy it directly from them if you can't find it locally. Highly recommend buying it directly from them. If you can't go local, get the upgraded pieces. I know, Josh, it's you get the chunky set of cardboard tokens. You can get metal money. These player mats, instead of having 9 cards just around, they actually keep the cards in place. So you can, you know, if you bump them, you don't knock all your cards. Definitely worth buying those. But yeah, the game can't troll you, but at least there is that mechanic, right? I think the first time I played this on the stream, the first game was, I think, 20 minutes, and I already needed to rally because I rolled 3 hearts, and I had no place for hearts, and I was already at 3, and it was like 1, 2, 3, done. And if that was a normal game would have been over. I would have had to reset. The game, it can be a little difficult, not difficult, but it can be a little time consuming to reset because you have to put all the cards back, and like I keep the cards out so I know where I've been because you can't go back to another card, the same card again, and do another action there. So you have to keep that in mind. So I like to keep track of where I am. But no, this is a great game. I absolutely love it. I love the random chaos of it. There's 1,800 cards. There are 6 starting pods. 6 starting pods. And each one of them, 5 starting pods. Your escape pods, right? This is where we started, Josh, was with these. You're in an escape pod, you roll 2 of the skill dice, and it tells you where you start from. And it's random where you're going to start. You know, each card has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's 21 starting locations per card, and there's 5 cards. So there's 105 different starting locations. And each one of those starting locations, you have 6 actions plus 4 move actions. And so the game is completely and totally replayable. Now, you may remember on this card we did this, and this is what it resulted in. Cool, you gain that knowledge, right? But you may not. So you may, or your goal may be different, where you may want to do something different than, like I needed to find animals, so I was trying to be nice and polite, where other times your mission may be, my last game, my mission was to disrupt the signal and not leave the planet. So it's all up to you, and it's totally random. Your game store has struggled over the last few years. I'm sorry to hear that. How often do you play stream? I play myself. I'm doing every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube and Twitch. I also will pop up randomly like tonight. Tonight was a random. I got done working, got done doing some stuff around here, around the house, and I just decided to do a stream rather than sitting there watching TV, right? I also can be found on the 3rd Sunday of every month for the Tabletop Gaming Center here in Connecticut on their live stream for their board games. Except for the next couple of months, they are doing Slay the Spire Summer. So they're having 4 players that have actually played it before do that. And I will probably be jumping in for the occasional 2-player game or anything else that they need a body at. So follow them, links in the description. I want to make sure you want to catch the next run. Definitely every Sunday at 9 p.m. That is my scheduled time, at least for the most part. I'm going to shoot for that. You know, I do have some physical stuff happening that sometimes I just won't be able to stream. But that's my goal. And is to get away from doing the pre-recorded stuff for this channel and go back to live streams and just do all live streams covering everything. This is just one of them. I'm hoping to get more steady streams for covering everything from D&D and Morkborg to cocktails and beverage reviews and Kickstarter reviews. Speaking of Kickstarter, one of my partners, Only Crits, great company, check them out, 10% off your order using my code in the description. They have a Kickstarter for their Fuck You Dice 3.0. I backed their 2.0. They start that next week. I'm hoping to do a preview vid for them this week. Also, other partners, We Print Miniatures out of the UK, go check them out, 10% off, use the code down in the chat. And Dubby, great energy drinks, great rehydration powders. For the next couple of days, my code gets you 20% off rather than 10. It's a mimic at checkout. Go check on them out. All those links are in the description. I know, Josh, yeah, the possibilities are practically endless. Absolutely. It's really, you just trying not to do what you've done before as well. You know, as a kid, I used to reread the Choose Your Own Adventure books. And I'd always try to make sure I picked something different just to see what the different options of the story was. That's kind of this. If you end up the same card and you knew you did the hide action last time, this time do the inspect. And the results may still be the same, and you may still get to the same spot afterwards, but the experience is going to be different. I said, the folks over there at Stonemeyer Games, this is a wonderful game. Absolutely wonderful. It is easily, it's got to be one of my top games of all time. And I've only played it 7 times. This is my first game playing solo, because it's not just me rolling dice and moving a piece across the board, right? It's not just me drawing tiles and placing them, which I'm, you know, games like Cascadia, which I love, and I'm going to play solo at some point in the stream, because I love Cascadia. But this game is a little bit more interactive, right? You got the cards, you got everything that can happen in terms of all the events and everything, you know. But it's definitely a game to buy if you haven't already. It is a little bit more on the expensive side, but it's worth it. I think I got my copy, I think it was $75 for the game, and then another 40 to get the improved skill tokens, money, and these player mats. Definitely worth it. Just from the replayability alone, if you drop $100 something on everything, you're going to get $100 worth of stuff out of here. You definitely will. You're going to get your money's back. You've watched my Quest End reviews. Thank you so much. You're one of the 5 guys that have done that. You can't get them there. Oh, are you actually in Idaho and they can't ship there? Is that the issue? They can't ship alcohol from out of state? I know they're working on that. They're working to fix that to all the states that they can't ship to. It's definitely worth the higher price, yeah. Yeah, no, Quest End, I have, as you know, Josh, you've seen all my videos. Their product's amazing as well. They're not partners either. I just love doing their videos. I love their product. So thank you for checking out those videos. I appreciate it. And thank you for popping into the stream. So I'm willing to stay in chat as I clean up. I do have a cat, so I can't leave this stuff just out, because all these little pieces will be all over my game room. Yeah, Idaho is stuck in the old days. Trust me, I grew up in Connecticut where you couldn't go to a package store on a Sunday and buy anything. The only place that sold liquor was in bars. Thankfully, that's been changed. You know, they still have, you know, they used to stop selling, package stores and close at 8. You know, so if it was 8:01 and you were out of beer, too bad. So yeah, some of the states, they just don't, at least thankfully, most of them are starting to come around now. I started to see change. Like I said, saw a change here in Connecticut before I moved back. Josh, got any other questions about the game or the channel? You know, if people are still watching this on the VOD, and you know, maybe you have questions that they want to know the answers to. Knowing is half the battle, as G.I. Joe used to say, right? So like I said, the fun part of this game is putting all the pieces back in and putting the cards back in. Wish I, you know, I'm glad I have my cat, but there's too many pieces, so I gotta put it all away. Hopefully the stream stayed strong all the time. When my buddies watched the other one, there was a hiccup, and of course I had audio issues last time. And this time I had weird OBS window capture issues. It wasn't liking that I was bouncing back and forth, but it worked fine last week. Right? Or it worked fine on Sunday. Maybe I must have done something different. But I do appreciate you stopping by. And anybody who's still watching, thank you so much. I'm sticking around as long as there's questions in the chat. I know there is a bit of a delay between here and YouTube. So, you know, Twitch's delay is not as bad as YouTube's is. I'm a tree looking to get into D&D. Great. On the channel for you. You have coworkers and friends that have been playing it for years and a bit nervous to try. That's why I found your channel and got me into Critical Role. That is awesome. Critical Role is just, it's comfort food to me. I can't wait to go see them on Tuesday. Critical Role Live, they're doing Daggerheart. Bell tells Daggerheart Under the Sea. You're here to learn and have a good time. Well, feel free, well, first of all, feel free to reach out with any questions you may have about D&D, any topics you want to see me cover. Just reach out to my socials. If Twitch is easier, I can hop on there and I stream. I truly don't know. I'm not watching the live stream in YouTube. I know YouTube's live stream is a little delayed behind, even more so delayed behind Twitch's. But why are you nervous to try D&D? There is no reason to be nervous. D&D is a bunch of people sitting around a table telling a story and rolling dice. Now, yes, if you were going to jump onto a Critical Role table as a guest player in the middle of all those voice actors and come in with no skill, no ability in terms of voice acting, then yes, you'd be nervous. But you're not going to be playing at a table like that. And if you are, good luck. I'm happy for you because that's amazing. Hi, Cody Nerd, welcome. But chances are you're going to be dropping into a table of people that are there to have a good time, to tell stories, roll dice, kill goblins. There's no reason to be nervous to try D&D. Talk to the DM and be honest about what your concerns are. A good DM will sit down and will walk you through expectations at the table, walk you through the players. And if you already know the players because they're your friends, you already know how they're going to be at the table for the most part. You know, a wise ass in work is going to be a wise ass at the D&D table. That's just how it's going to be. Somebody who loves chaos is going to love chaos at the table, right? But yeah, talk to your dungeon master. Talk to him. Talk to her. They will sit you down and alleviate your concerns. If they're a good DM, they will do that. There's no reason to be nervous to try D&D. Everybody starts somewhere, and a good table will help you with that. A good table will walk you through what you need to do. A good table will give you advice. If they don't, if they give you shit because you did something wrong, or you didn't listen and did something, or you didn't know how an ability worked, That's not a table you want to play out, let's be honest. Question from Cody Nur. What games that have solo variant do you think on a game shouldn't even exist? I don't know. I have not played enough. This is my first time playing a solo game. I have plenty in my board game room and my shelves that have solo variants. This is just the first one I've been able to play. From what I've seen, the ones that get overly complicated in terms of AI can probably, did you really need a solo variant? Or one where it has you playing two characters? That's not really playing a solo variant. You're playing like what I would do as a kid when no friends were around. I'd play Monopoly by myself as two players. That's not a solo game if you're having to play two players, right? So even though I can't answer your question, Cody, my thoughts would be something like that, to where it's a solo game, but you're doing all the work. An AI variant is cool. At least there's something that, okay, for every turn you flip a card and then that's the AI's turn. That's fine. But if you're having to play as a second player just to make it a solo game, no, that's not solo. So that would be my answer. Your friends have wonderful imaginations and have been doing it for years. While they are very patient and passionate, I don't want to screw something up, if that makes sense. There is no way for you to screw something up. It's D&D. Screw-ups are where the fun exists. So just remember that. And like I said before, you won't screw it up. They will either roll with it because that was just cool, or they won't let you get to the point of screwing up. Because ask questions too. If you're new, ask questions even before you roll. Or what does this mean for this ability? Can I do this? The best thing you can do at a table is ask, can I? If you ask, can I, and follow it up with something, your DM or will say yes or no. So it's almost impossible to screw stuff up. Like I said, screwing up is where the fun exists in D&D. You love that? My friends are wonderful people. I have imposter syndrome, and I'm not even there yet. Trust me, I get it. Imposter syndrome can be hard to overcome. It's definitely not easy. I don't know if I have it, but I have forms of anxiety and social anxiety that can make sitting at a table or make doing this hard. So I get it. But like I said, if your friends are great, it won't matter. They would rather have you at the table, being slow, taking it easy, and maybe not diving right into the imagination like your friends may have, because you will get there in time. And they, as players, know this, because they were there at some point, whether it was 40 years ago, like me, or 2 years ago for your friends, right? They were all there where you are at some point. They all had a start. Just rip the Band-Aid off and go for it. So freaking lootly. Get yourself a nice set of dice. Get yourself like a D&D Beyond subscription. If your DM uses D&D Beyond, I do, because it's just much easier. And just play. Just play. Once you sit down and you roll your first character up and you go in and you kill a goblin on a nat 20, or you do something cool and you come up with a unique way to use a spell or a magic item, you are going to just love it. And you're going to be hooked, and I can tell you're already hooked. You're asking the right questions. You watch Critical Role. You watch my videos, right? And not saying I know all, but you're already there. You're already trying to make sure that when you get to the table, you're going to do it right. Go back and watch my earlier videos. Right? My very first video is, you are not Matt Mercer. And you, sir, are not Liam O'Brien. You are not Travis Willingham. Not yet. Oh, you're welcome. That's what we do. This whole community is about advice and support. And the more people, we just want to see more people at the table. because it's not going to take much for you to get hooked, and then you're in. Go watch other videos. There's so many great creators. You know, good places to start. Dungeon Dudes, Ginny D. Start with those, with the Dungeon Dudes and Ginny D, and you are going to get all the information you need to be a player. Take the advice from everybody, but do what works for you. Even from your friends, if they want you to cast Fireball, but you want to cast this spell instead, do that. You're there for you, right? So just keep that in mind. And welcome to the club, because you're in it now. And please come back every Sunday at 9. You know, check me out. Be sure to subscribe and like and thumbs up and all that. If you're in Atlanta at Critical Role, like I said, on Tuesday, May 26th, look for the very big guy in a t-shirt with that logo on it. You're not going to be able to miss me. I'm big, red, crimson. You might get a sticker, a keychain, something, but I'll have a bag full of small stuff with me. Check out all my partners if you would. Order stuff. You can't go wrong. I said all the partners are everybody I've used. So, and Dubby, I can't speak highly enough about the Dubby rehydration powders. They keep me going during the summer. And Only Crits, their dice are amazing. Cody, when you play board games at various stores, people are playing D&D in the card games, right? People are playing The Witcher. Are all D&D style games closely the same or vastly different in mechanics? All different. All different. You will have a game like Mork Board, which is it's a D20 system, but it's not the same as D&D. It's stripped down. Daggerheart, 2D12. You have other TTRPGs. We have Burn 2D6. You got, and then you have Enclave, which is diceless. There are all kinds of games out there. There is something for everybody. Whether it's a board game, whether it's a TTRPG, whether it's a tabletop game of some sort, there is something for everybody of all ages out there. And all of them are different. And the TTRPGs all start at the same point. Cooperative storytelling. That's it. Rules, everything, etc. They all will have different rules, but they all are generally roughly, how do I say it? They start with the same base and then modify from there, right? Whether they're rolling 1d20 to do actions, 2d6 to do actions, 2d12 to do actions. It's roll this dice, add something to it, get the result, and the DM or the GM will tell you whether you succeed or fail based upon that total, right? So they are all basically the same. It's all about finding the nuance of each, figuring out what that is that makes each game unique, right? 10 Candles, it's cooperative storytelling, and you turn off candles as people make bad decisions and bad things happen. And once all the candles are out, everybody loses. You all lose. You know, but it's still a TTRPG. Enclave, like I said, is diceless. My buddy Ian, who's been on this channel, he plays in an Enclave game, and it's a diceless TTRPG. It's just storytelling. Right? So there's stuff out there, and they're all different. Before the stream ends, what was the other channel you were on? It's in the description. It's the Tabletop Gaming Center. Let me throw that in the chat. Tabletop Gaming Center. They're here in Newington, Connecticut. Let me see if I can grab this. Let me grab their channel for you. Here, let me drop this in the chat. There you go. That's them. They are, they do a D&D stream every Tuesday. They do a TTRPG, Tabletop Adventures on every Monday. Like I said, we stream, we just did Zuvadas this Sunday live stream. So there's a VOD out there for that. Plan C is their D&D on Tuesdays. So please check them out and check us out when we're doing live streams. Oh, you subscribe to them. Awesome. If you ever go over there, tell them Rich from Laughing Tavern sent you. Just, you know, I don't work for them. I just, they put out an audition call to be a part of their stream. So I applied for D&D stream and for their board game stream and got picked to be the old guy on the board game stream. But Cody, if you've ever never checked out D&D and you've always wanted to because you're playing board games, check them out. Go hop it, see if you can hop in one of the games. Whether it's Call of Cthulhu, whether it's D&D, whether it's Daggerheart. There's so many out there. Draw Steel, you know, Pathfinder, Starfinder. Something for everybody. That's why I love when I got back into this hobby back in 2018. I got back into, I came across Will Wheaton's Tabletop, and it got me back into board games. I hadn't really played board games since I was a kid. Well, I played like Risk and Axis and Allies when I was older, but like I still remember my first, when I got Scotland Yard back in 1987, I think it was really the first hidden movement game. So that got me past Monopoly at that point. I was no longer going to play Game of Life, and I got back into this hobby, and then I got back into D&D. Then I started running games, and it's awesome. What would you say is the best class and race to play as the first-time player? Great question. Absolutely loaded question. What do you want to play? Yes, there are some that are more nuanced. There are some that may be, quote-unquote, harder for a first-time player to play. But it's really, what do you want to play? Do you want to blow things up with fireball from 100 feet away? Be a wizard. Do you want to get in there and scrap? Do you want to, be a fighter? Do you want to be Aragorn? Be a ranger. Do you want to be stealthy and sneak around? Be a rogue. So you have to decide what you want to play. As for race, pick one that works cool for what you're going for. You know, they made some changes with Tasha's Cauldron and everything that allowed you to, they removed the Goliaths always get bumps in strength. So I played a Goliath Ranger one time. That was a blast. I played a Halfling Barbarian. I played a Halfling Paladin. So it's really about what you want, and you can make it work at the table. Like I said, your friends will work with you to help you if you pick one of the tougher classes to play, or one of the tougher subclasses to play. You know, if you want to just go and hit things, be a fighter, basic fighter. If you want to rage and you want to be Grog from Critical Role, be a barbarian. You know, if you want to just sit back and heal people, be a cleric. All depends on what you want to do. Question from Cody: is there TTRPGs that is not one DM in the group? Is there TTRPGs that are not co-op and against each other? TTRPGs are hard. In terms of where it's not one DM in the group, is there not co-op and against each other instead? It's really hard because most TTRPGs are cooperative role-playing games, right? There probably is. I can't think of any off the top of my head because, like I said, it's normally you and your group trying to accomplish something in the world, right? Whatever that world may be. That kind of stuff more leans towards board games where you have hidden traders, you have that kind of stuff, or semi-cooperative, or winner takes all. I don't know if there's non-co-op games, is what I'm saying. Not for TTRPGs. It's there probably is, but I just don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, let's just Google really quick. Non-co-op TTRPGs. Um, non-co-op RPGs are pretty much single-player games, right? So it doesn't look like there's any non-co-op TTRPGs out there, Cody. There probably is niche ones. But yeah, for the most part, if you want to play non-co-op, you pretty much stick into a solo game. Critical Role did a battle royale. Oh yeah, which one? They did a couple. They were all good. I don't know how hard that would be, but that was really cool to watch. That's really more of a one shot that the DM just sets up with set goals, right? Kill all the other players, open up all the treasure chests. Yeah, it would be more like that. You bring up a good point, Josh, for Cody, that it would be a battle royale style one shot of us within a system, rather than a whole system. I believe it's really hard. It's co-op. How do you do non-co-op for cooperative storytelling? It's yeah, it'd be more leaning towards that one shot where it's me against all my other players just to win some prize, where fatality does not matter, right? Like where it was a dream sequence, like the battle royale that Josh is talking about in the chat. Oh, Vampire Masquerade, I believe is still a co-op storytelling. I have never played it. Vampire the Masquerade. I think it's still, yeah, you belong to, let me see if it's co-op or not. The video games are single player. That's not what I asked. Yeah, no, even that looks like it's co-op. I've never played it, but I believe it is co-op there, Cody. Like I said, when you're getting into tabletop gaming, when it comes to role playing, it's pretty hard not to be co-op because you hear information at the table, right? So unless you're going to do a one shot where it's you against the other players for the fun of it, right? You're pretty much TTRPGs are going to be co-op. It's just, I believe, just and how the system works. Now, I could be absolutely wrong, and I'm sure there's somebody who's created something out there for it, right? Something out there that they try to do a co-op thing. But like I said, if you're going to do non-co-op, that's more of a video game where you're playing a board game version of the game, right? Where you have hidden information and stuff like that. Oh, LARP style? Isn't LARP still partly co-op because you have teams, right? So that would be more towards it would be you'd have to get up and away from the table to do it, is what I'm saying. So but even then I believe LARP is still co-op to some degree. Well, like I said, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on anything. I know not what I do. Appreciate you guys sticking around and asking questions. Like I said, I'm more than happy to talk. Just ask any of my friends. Just gotta put these cards away. But Cody, if you're already at the game store, you can ask the people there. They might know of more than I would, right? That is one of your best places for information, is your friendly local game store. They got direct lines to all the information you're looking for. You know. And who knows? If you go out to your local game store and ask them, you might trigger them creating their own game. So there's always a possibility. You just ordered Vantage from Stonemaier Games. Well done. You will not be disappointed. Glad they had it in stock, because there was a time when you could not find this game. Like I said, if you can, get the upgraded other pieces, it definitely makes the game better, in my opinion. But that's awesome. I'm glad you went and bought it. Too bad they don't give me discounts. Too bad I don't get a low percentage by sending people to buy the game. That'd be awesome. So anybody from Stonemaier out there, think about it. I just sent you a customer. But truly, thank you both for sticking around and asking questions. This channel's been going on for 2 years now. It's I've had to take a little bit of time off here and there, so it's kind of killed any momentum I was getting. I don't get a lot of views on my videos. It's one reason why I stopped doing Critical Role content. It's another reason why I'm stopping doing the pre-recorded videos for the most part. It's a lot of effort to work a 10 to 14-hour day, record a video, edit the video, post the video. It's a lot. Critical Role is killing me watching Campaign 4. It's taking 10 hours to watch it and then another 4 hours to record it. So that's why I decided to go more towards the board games, and I still plan on doing more D&D stuff. It'll be live streams. It'll be podcast style. Thank you for being a safe space for us, asking questions, sharing your experience in gameplay. Of course, like I've said, our community is all about being a safe space. Ask any questions. I'm more than happy to answer. I'm still relatively new to this hobby, so I have a fresh perspective. Is the community perfect? Of course not. We have our issues. I did a whole video on one of them, dealing with the cleanliness of the nerdy. But yes, everybody's welcome at my table, whether we're playing a board game, whether we're drinking a beer, whether we're doing shots, or whether we're playing D&D or some other game. Everybody's welcome, and there is no such thing as a stupid question when you're trying to learn, right? There's questions I know the answers to immediately, and there's questions I have to think about. But there is no stupid question. I'm happy to answer any questions I can. I'm happy to just more people in the hobby makes the hobby better. No community is perfect, such is life. Yes. No, we still have some issues. I'm not going to lie. We still have issues in regards to some gatekeeping. But thankfully, a lot of that's being pushed to the side now. I may be an old guy, but I'm not the old guy at the table when it comes to mentality and, well, this isn't the way we did it back in 1982, so that's not how we're going to do it now, right? I'm not that mentality, even though that's when I started playing. That root beer sour, it's limited edition here. It's it's gonna be hard for you to find it out there. Really hard for you to find it out there. I know they distribute here locally. I don't think I don't think they even distribute outside the state. But I'm always willing to answer questions. I have my email in the chat, in the description of the YouTube videos. I have my socials. Reach out to me on Blue Sky. Reach out to me. I have a Discord channel, but it's not active. Nobody's really in it. But feel free to email. Feel free to reach out on any of them with any questions you may have. Put a comment on one of my videos if you have a question, or You know, if you want to see me talk about a specific topic, an issue you're having with a, you know, if you want to know how to do something, send me a message. I will sit down, pour myself something from my bar, and I'll talk like this. Because this is much better and easier for me to free flow and just, you know, answer questions to, you know, give people knowledge. Knowledge is power, and like I said, having more people in this hobby is just not a bad thing whatsoever. Whether it's D&D or this hobby itself. Wow, I pulled a lot of cards from the same area. I was just going around in circles. But just following on Facebook. All right, great. That's awesome. I myself am not on Facebook a lot, but I do see messages that pop up or questions. So feel free to send me there. Like I said, email is probably the best way to get a hold of me if you want an actual answer. Oh yeah, I hung out in the same area of the country here. All my cards are coming from the same. You have 227, 228, 226, 240, 247, 190, 198. Well, I appreciate you following me, subscribing, and all that. And Cody, sorry I couldn't answer your question better, but thank you for asking. And that's one thing I'm always going to be, is I'm going to be honest as hell. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to look it up or tell you I don't know the answer. Or, hey, why don't you go ask this person? They know the answer better. Because I know what I don't know, and I don't know what I don't know. And the game is finally put away. But yes, come back every Sunday at 9. If I can't do this, I will post on Blue Sky. Especially, I will say I'm not doing it. So follow me there. I will probably, if I remember, I'll do something on Facebook as well. But Blue Sky is my biggest one that's where most of my followers are. Even though they're not subscribers, at least biggest reach. Sometimes I have short notice canceled, but so far I've done it the last 3 weeks, last 2 Sundays, and then tonight. So, but with that, as long as you're good, Josh and Cody, if you don't have any more questions, we may just call it a stream. Perfect. Follow me on Blue Sky. Excellent. Like I said, thank you both so much for coming, watching, sticking around. I'm hoping to get more traction on these videos, so please share with your friends. Tell your friends about me. Tell your friends about the channel. Any support would be great. You know, we're slowly building up the numbers, so I'm not doing this to make money. I'm doing this because I enjoy it, but if I can make money at it, it'd be even better. So, thank you both. With that, may your tables be full of laughter. Have a good night.